Hello there. So I have yet another theory I want to throw at you guys. You'll have to open your minds again and try for just a little while to forget everything you think you know to be truth. And this is going to be in twofold. The same theory can hold true for two completely different purposes, so hold on to the end of the video for the second one. They both may feel and seem negative or even a little scary at first thought, yet they really aren't when you take your thoughts to the end game. First, visualize a huge construct. It may or may not be Earth or the universe as we know it. It may or may not be a flat plane. It may be something we cannot fully grasp in the way our brains are currently wired to think. I show it here as a circle simply because that is how our minds would perceive it right now. So this huge or maybe even tiny construct is perhaps based upon a certain frequency, let's say a present frequency. Now, within this construct are each of us, and each of us are within our own personal constructs, which are held together by yet another frequency, perhaps a frequency we have been programmed to hold. I only placed a few personal constructs within the main construct because, well, I didn't want to spend all day making millions of circles, so looking at this, visualize it as being filled with millions instead of just 10. And now I say millions instead of billions because I personally believe that this main construct is also filled with backdrop people, people who aren't truly life essence. So, going with this, notice how the personal constructs overlap with each other in many ways. This could be how I am able to interact with you, or you, others with life essence. Now imagine that the ringing some of us hear in our ears is the sound of our personal construct frequency. And imagine that in your construct there are backdrop people. If we are prisoners within our own personal construct, which is trapped within the main construct for whatever purpose that may be, then perhaps those backdrop people are there to keep us in check, to keep our personal frequency as it should be to maintain our personal construct. For instance, let's say you start to wake up, you start to see things how they really are in this so-called world, your frequency starts to change to become more beautiful instead of negative. Your construct then begins to disintegrate, and then you begin to see Mandela effects. You see these because now you are seeing slightly into other personal constructs that are overlapping into yours, and theirs are slightly different than yours. They too begin to wake up, and their personal constructs begin to disintegrate as well, and the MEs increase. And perhaps this is when we get the increase in our ear ringing or these strange high pitches some of us can hear, or the other odd sounds. This pattern then continues. But some of the backdrop people pick up on this and make emotional attacks on some of those who are awakening, and suddenly their frequency begins to go back to the negative, hence why some MEs keep doing flip-flops. So if we think of all of these terms, and then the answer is simple. We continue to learn, to grow, to love, and ignore all the rest. Any negativity and fear that is thrown at us, we just smile and shrug it off. We all know that fear equals power. If we do not fear, then that power goes away. Then there is nothing to hold us. Like I said in a previous video, maybe we already are home. Maybe we are and we just don't know it. If we can continue working the disintegration of our personal constructs and help others to do the same, then all that is left is the main construct. That one last negative frequency, and with all of us free at that point, it would be simple to destroy that as well. And then after that, who knows? I mean, freedom, of course, a freedom I think we could not even begin to imagine. Now, think of it this way. The whole construct idea works for a few different theories. It could work for the thought that perhaps we are prisoners in the whole construct, or it could work also for the theory that perhaps we are indeed dead. If we have died, and I don't mean the entire planet like some people think, but just those of us who have been affected, then each personal construct would be our world we have created once we died. A place we ourselves made to help with the transition of life to death. And those that are directly within our personal construct would be the backdrop people that we created to help us slowly ease through the process. We would have to do this in order to make the gradual transition without losing our minds. And perhaps we are slowly giving ourselves clues to ease towards the truth. This would explain why so many of us feel that the people in our lives have changed from what they once were, because technically they aren't the same, just our recreation. Perhaps this personal construct is our place to grow, to forgive others, forgive ourselves, learn to let go, learn to love unconditionally. And our personal constructs overlap so that we may help each other through this process when needed. Example, look at how many YouTube videos have been made regarding the Mandela effect and how we are all helping each other. Look at all of the many groups that have been formed to help each other, support groups. This may be a process necessary to move on. Remember, this is just another new theory. It does not mean it is so, but either way, it all comes down to love, forgiveness, ignore the fear, release the wrong, the bad, shed old ways of thinking and feeling, be light, be peace, be joy, and do not feed the negativity. Do not feed the fear. So, on that note, I just thought I'd throw those at you guys. More food for thought, and I hope that you all have a great day. I will talk to you later. Bye. So if you're like me and you're always thinking and you enjoyed this content, then by all means, hit like. And if you enjoyed this channel and would like to support it, if you haven't already, then please subscribe by hitting the button below. And one more thing, I love reading your comments, and they really mean a lot to me. So please comment below, and I will respond. As always, thank you for watching.